Okay, today is gonna be a story time vlog.
Okay, let's get down to it.
And it's actually kind of serious, the first part, so I gotta like put on my serious face a little bit. So if you guys remember, or not maybe, about a year and a half ago, or maybe 2 years ago, I put a vlog on this channel that said researching the history of my house or something like that.
The scary history or the dark history or something.
Something dramatic like that. Even though it was a really dark history. So if you guys have not seen that video, it would probably make more sense to like pause this one, open another tab, and then watch that one because that goes into like all the history of the house.
Or just do like a nice little split screen and watch both at the same time and just confuse your brain in ways you've never confused yourself before.
If you want to.
It's quite the experience.
Mine's probably a better suggestion. Yeah, go watch that. I'll briefly sum up what we're gonna talk about, but basically I found out more history. It just keeps coming back to us about our creepy forest behind our house. It's pretty creepy.
Or at least what we can see. It doesn't seem like we're adding too much to it if you look at the backyard.
Oh, they can't.
Extra creepy.
They can't see the backyard.
Oh, they can see.
Oh, don't show us the gross
backyard.
backyard.
Oh, we're gonna show the gross backyard. Just look at that. The mound is looking scarier than ever because we picked all the weeds off of it, so it looks like kind of bald and patchy. Ugh. So creepy.
Basically, we had a landscaper over in the fall that was like completely redoing our backyard to make it really pretty, but while he was working on it, it started to snow. So we had to stop halfway. So now our backyard is a construction site and it looks terrible. So we try not to have people over to our house.
But it also really sucks right now because being spring, it rains like every other day or every night. So if you try and bring machines here, which he needs because we're putting big stones down, the machine is just gonna like sink. Just imagine like the scene from Titanic, but like in the ground and with a lot more guys screaming. Yeah,
so it's gonna be probably a month and a bit until the landscaper can come back. Anyway, so back to the history. Basically, the other day I was researching for a video because I had this really cool idea for my missing series to do one called like,
yes, Winnie.
She's ringing the bell. She just went outside.
She's showing what everybody should be doing. Always ring the bell.
Anyways, I wanted to do a video about psychics who have helped police find missing people because I thought that would be so cool, and it happens really often. Like, police do collaborate with psychics, not like every time, but it has happened quite a lot in history, so I really wanted to do a video on that. So all I typed into Google was psychic helps find missing person, and that's all I typed in. The very first result on Google was my house. Well, not literally my house, but the forest behind my house. I can't tell you guys where it is, but that was the very first result, and I'm like, huh? I did not type in where I lived, but I guess Google like kind of knows your area or something.
Google kind of knows everything.
I know,
it's
but
really scary.
It was creepy because I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna be doing like missing persons people from like all over the world, but no, the first result was my house. Anyway, so if you guys had seen that first video I did about a year ago, or 2 years ago, however long it was ago, I can't go into detail because YouTube will not like that. But basically, 2 people were found who had passed away in the forest behind my house, right there. It was a mother and a daughter, I believe. Anyway, I opened this article because I had already known that. That didn't surprise me. What surprised me was that it wasn't police that found them. It was actually a psychic who had a vision of where they were and led police to find them here. So apparently we have a really famous, well-known psychic in our area that does this very often. And it was so weird because
if I didn't know what the specifics of the actual incident that happened, probably knew the psychic was the one who did it.
No.
I know, there's specifics of the incident that points to somebody else.
It was the mother. It was the mother, but we're not gonna go into
We're not gonna go into detail, but that, like, I'd figure that'd be really sketchy. Or the person is just like really charismatic, they just say they're psychic and they're just showing all their crime scenes. It's like, look, I did this.
Oh my gosh. What apparently happened was, it was all over the news that these 2 people were missing, and this psychic was in her house and she was watching the news, and later that day she had a vision of like trees and grass and like saw an exact detailed place of where these 2 people were. So she went to the police, and like police I think at first are kind of like, yeah, right, you know what I mean? But she's like, no, here's all the details of what I saw in my head, and I think this is where, you know, they are. So the police, they know my forest very well. So they went there, and that's the first thing they saw with these 2 people. So I thought that was really crazy because I didn't know how detailed that whole like situation was, but it still makes my forest even creepier. And obviously it's like a very sad and unfortunate story. I mean, I have to be like careful about what I'm saying, but I think the forest just creeps me out. Really? A serious moment and you're playing peekaboo.
Yeah, peekaboo was fun.
But it's just weird because every time we have someone over to our house, they walk into our kitchen, they look out our window, and the first thing they say is, hey, that forest is creepy. Like we had my cousin Dave over.
Well, soon to be our cousin.
Well, soon to be your cousin. He is my cousin. We had him over to film and he walked in the kitchen and he's like, oh, that's a creepy forest you have there. And I'm like, yep. We know.
Like, I used to live, when I was growing up, about 5 minutes away from here. We have the same trees, the same everything. It does not look nearly as creepy as that. It really doesn't. It's creepy because it's all cedar trees, but all of like the trunks, you can look at them right now. Like, there's nothing growing a good, 12 feet up. And usually cedar trees, at least when they're close to an edge, they at least grow kind of a wall so you don't see all that.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It is really weird.
Like I had a bunch of cedar trees on my old property and they kind of like built, like it was a dome of all the leaves and all that.
Yeah.
On the inside it was hollow like that, but you didn't see it. You never did.
It's so weird, and it's weird how we weren't told about this whole crime before we moved in, but I guess because it's technically behind our house, they don't need to tell us.
Yeah, our property line ends basically at that fence.
And it happened before the house was built. Like I think it was actually in the process of being built when it happened.
Yeah.
So no one was
this
living.
Development I think took 2 years.
So yeah, anyways, that's kind of the update on that. But another update, which I'll let Ty sort of go into, but I did a story on my main channel about how there's stairs popping up in woods all over the world, and it's called like the stairs in the woods phenomenon. And we found this really creepy spiral staircase that everybody talks about that's in the woods relatively close to where we live. It's actually by Ty's grandma's house.
Yes, it is. And we want to go.
Yes, we do.
Thing is though, we didn't really plan it out very well. I still need to call my grandmother. So if she's watching this right now, surprise, expect a call.
Yeah, because we want to visit his grandma while we're there because she lives, is it 2 hours or 3 hours away?
From here, 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because where it is it Lake Huron?
I don't remember.
There's a small town kind of on the coast of one of the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
And just it happens that one of the stairs in the woods is honestly a stone throws away from where my grandmother is.
Yeah.
So we're thinking of maybe going up and visiting. And then I can show you, after we're done, the market.
Oh yeah, we can vlog like while we're there.
The market was like my favorite thing to go to when I was a little kid.
Oh really?
Yeah, because when I was young and Pokemon cards were like extremely popular, probably still are now, it's just I don't play Pokemon cards. I never knew how to play that game.
Yeah.
You could get anything from like Pokemon cards to furniture for your bedroom. Pretty much. It's just random stuff.
Everything.
Art supplies, you could get a 4 foot by 4 foot canvas for like 10 bucks. And it was actually really good quality. And that's also where I got my sword. Like this place had like every random thing you could think of. It was cool, but it always kind of had like a very familiar smell. Was it a good smell? Not necessarily, but it's just one of those smells that sticks with you. Doesn't stick on you though. That's a good thing.
Yeah, but we'd love to visit his grandma if we're going up there anyway because we don't get to see her that often. So if we're driving on that way, we gotta see her. And yeah, that should be a really fun video coming up. I would say when it gets a little warmer, maybe in 3-4 weeks.
Can somebody say road trip?
Road trip.
Well, kind of day trip.
Well, day trip, road trip.
Kind of.
Yeah, but apparently that spiral staircase in this place we're going is so creepy, and I tweeted how we want to go and everyone's like, don't go, Jessii, like don't climb it. We're gonna climb it. Because I know you haven't watched my video, but the whole thing is that you're not supposed to climb it because if you do, it's like an entryway to like HE double hockey stick or another dimension.
HE double hockey
HE double hockey sticks, okay?
That sounds like an arena.
Yeah, you walk in and it's like a skating rink and you're like, oh, interesting. We're in the middle of a forest, but not anymore.
What would be scarier would be an escalator in the middle of the forest.
I mean, that's like the same thing though. Anything that goes up that's like a structure.
An elevator.
An elevator.
Just an elevator. So finding a ladder in the forest would be creepy.
I mean, that's still kind of creepy.
I've actually found one before.
Really, a ladder?
Yeah, the property that I was talking about that's like 5 minutes away from here.
Yeah.
The property was, I think, 30 acres or so. It went back really far. We had a bunch of fields.
Yeah.
One of the fields we'd rent out because one of our neighbors, he'd grow hay, so he'd just grow hay in that field.
Yeah.
Still technically ours, but we wouldn't really go past that. And behind was all the forest, and like the forest I was telling you that wasn't really creepy, like it kind of domed over. But when I went back, I noticed there was something that looked like a structure back there. So I just got bored. I started walking my way there. There was a tree house on the back of my property. Ladder, everything. I go up and inside is like candy wrappers and all that stuff. Not olds, like new. Someone was there recently. So it's kind of freaky.
That's really creepy. Anyways though, that's our update. So basically, update of the history of our house. Missing people were found in our backyard. Love that. And then we're gonna go to Stairs in the Woods soon. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy this little story time update. And we'll see you in our next vlog. Be safe. I don't know why I always say be safe. Like, what else?
Be safe. Do not wander too far off the road.
Into the forest, okay?
Don't accept candy from strangers.
No. Anyways, we'll see you guys soon. Okay, bye.
See you guys.